welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra, and this is a special edition where our focus is on Shriram Finance. The company has announced that it is exiting its housing finance business and it's selling its entire 85% stake to Warburg Pincus for a value of 4,630 odd crore rupees. And of course, Warburg will be acquiring the entire stake from Shriram Finance as well as from the other investor, Valiant Capital Management, through the affiliate Mango Crest Investment, and the transaction is of course subject to approvals in the coming days. Now joining us now to detail for us what are the contours of this deal, what would this really mean for the shareholders at large, and what is the group's focus going to be going forward from here. I'm now joined by the top management of the company. Mr. Umesh Revankar joins in. He's the Executive Vice Chairman at Shriram Finance. Warm welcome to you, sir, on Business Today Television. It's great to have you with us. First up, if you could help all our viewers really understand at the outset what exactly is the rationale behind selling off or exiting your housing finance business completely, because earlier there was some thought process that probably there will be a divestment of a stake, but a complete exit. Could you give us a sense as to why did the company decide this so?
Yeah, good morning. See, basically, if you look at the housing finance business per se, housing finance is a highly specialized and focused business. It needs a lot of attention, and also it needs a growth capital, because the housing finance companies normally lend at a longer tenor, and therefore the repayment cycles are slower, and therefore the capital infusion required is high. The housing finance company was growing more than 50% CAGR for last 4 years, and it needs a lot of capital. That's one point. And the second, SFL itself is growing well. In the last year, we grew by 21%, and we also need growth capital. So the raising of capital and giving a fresh growth capital to the SFL was one issue which we were debating and discussing within us, whether we should find a partner, or whether we should exit fully, or whether the SFL itself should invest. So we felt that the best way is to find a new investor who can come in fully, and we divest it fully, so that we focus on our core business of financing to finance businesses, because our core business is to finance the individuals and small enterprises for starting a business, or increasing their volume, or increasing their business volumes. So we wanted to stick to our core business, and we felt that since it requires, housing finance requires a lot of focus, and also the management of the housing finance company the leadership is doing very well. We wanted them to give a good partner who can bring a lot of capital.
Okay. So by when do you anticipate this deal to get completed, and what kind of approvals would you be awaiting for this, sir?
Yeah, typically regulators' approvals are required, and we will start the process of approaching the regulator. Since the board has approved now we have to go to the regulator and seek their approval. Once we get the approval, then the Warburg Pincus, they will be in charge of the company, and change of name will take place.
Okay. So how are you planning to use the funds which you will be getting? The entire stake sale has been sold at 4,630 crores. But what is going to be your own share that you are receiving, and how would you be really using that fund?
Yeah, as you rightly put it, we have a partner there, and balance 3,908 crores will come into the SFL. And the P&L transaction, because what will come into the after tax is around 1,360 crores, and that will help us to improve our net, what you call the CRAR position by 100 basis point. And we need not go for growth capital now when it is, because this will help us to grow our business for next couple of years comfortably.
Okay, so you would not need any extra funds now to fund your further growth for next 2 to 3 years. This will suffice, that kind of a growth coming in. All right, sir.
Yes.
So, sir, also do tell me about the valuations. The entire stake in the housing finance business is at 2.4 times the FY24 book. Could you tell us if you are happy with the valuations that you got? Is this higher or as per your expectations?
Uh, See, there is a CCD component of 400 crores which came in March 29th of this financial year. If you keep it aside, then the price to book is around 3.3 times. So
Okay.
we are quite happy with the valuation, and we are also happy with the new partner who has come in, because they will be providing necessary capital, further capital of, because the company needs further capital of around 1,000 crores in a year's time, and the new partner will be able to provide the capital and also to guide the management and leadership of SHF.
Okay. So also, for a shareholder's perspective, if you could help us understand, what is it in for the shareholders? Of course, you're saying the CRAR will continue to grow by 100%, 100 basis points, and you would continue to focus on your core business as well. How would the further journey, how should a further journey be, anticipated by a shareholder of yours, sir?
It will be good for shareholder in the sense we are focusing on our core business, which are high yielding lending. Profit margins are better in the core business, and the focus will be on improving our bottom line. This year, we have decided that the focus will be on the uh, uh, digital part of it, and also improve the OPEX and reducing the NPA levels, improving the asset quality. So these are all the targets we have kept for this financial year. And overall, I feel company's performance will further improve, and that will help the shareholders' cause.
Okay. So could you share with us the outlook on your core business, the vehicle financing as well as the gold financing business? What kind of growth do you anticipate here, sir?
This financial year, we have given a guidance of 15%. We'll stick to that because first 2 months, being the election year, there will be some slowdown. Entire government machinery is involved in the election process, and therefore there will be slowdown in many of the infrastructure projects. However, the post that election, the monsoon, the IMD has predicted good monsoon. So we are very sure that the monsoon and the rural economy will play out well during the year. So second half of the year, we should be able to grow well. So overall, 15% top line growth with the bottom line growth higher than the top line is what we are looking at.
Okay. So on the demand factor, since you said that monsoons are going to be positive and you're looking at it positively as well, on the rural demand for financing, how has it played out in FY24 and what is your sense for FY25?
Yeah, FY24, if you look at last year, the second half of the year has been quite good. The rural demand has been extremely good. We had a record financing of a two-wheeler and tractor in the last year, especially in the second half of the year. The festive demands were very good, and most of the demand has come from the agricultural belt or rural economy. And we anticipate similar demand coming in this financial year.
Okay. So also, if you could share with us on gold financing as well. Why I want to understand this from you is over the past 10 days or we've seen increasing scrutiny from the RBI in the gold financing space from the industry. There has been continuous directive to cap the cash loans in that segments as well, and of course there is a scrutiny with the companies in this business with the kind of loans that were given out and the metrics that were seen as well. What is your own understanding of how things are progressing and how are you looking at the scenario now, sir?
We are quite optimistic on gold financing front, because gold financing you need a reach as near as possible to the customer. Customer prefer to walk into nearby a shop or nearby company office rather than going a distance. So we need to be very close to the customer. That's very important. And post the merger, we have more than 3,000 branches. Out of that, initially 1,000 branches were offering gold loan. Now we have added 600 branches. So 1,600 branches we are able to reach. Further, more branches will be added going forward. So reach is very important. And the second is comfort and assurance to the customer, that because normally the gold loans are short tenor, 3 to 6 months. They would like to walk in and take the money and repay it very quickly and take it back. So these transactions are more frequent in nature. So we would prefer to give that kind of a comfort to the customer. Now, the as far as the regulator scrutiny is concerned, it is basically they would like to have a uniform policy across bank and NBFC. Here, I would like to add that apart from banks and NBFC, there are more than 100,000 pawnbrokers who are also doing the gold loan, and therefore there is a formal sector which is offering the gold loan. Then there's also some kind of informal, even though all the pawnbrokers are the approved lending arms, but still there is uh, formal and informal, and these pawnbrokers do not come under RBI. And they are mostly regulated by the state government. So there is some kind of a different division there. We have to see how it will play out, but we feel that strong players with good reach will definitely gain out of it.
All right, sir. Well, many thanks for speaking to us, sir, on Business Today Television. It's always a pleasure to host you and to seek such wonderful insights from you on the industry perspective, and all the very best to you after this divestment has played out. We will be excited to see how the journey goes forward from here, as and when now you focus more on the core business from here on, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And with that, viewers, we wrap up this very special conversation with Mr. Umesh Ravankar. And as far as the selling of the stake and exiting of the housing finance business is concerned, the rationale behind it, you understood. What is the funding likely to do to the growth perspective as well, you've understood as well, and how the company is planning to move forward on both the vehicle financing as far as the gold financing is also concerned. With that, we wrap up, but do stay tuned on to Business Today Television as we continue to get you earnings conversations, as well as at 12 noon we will be joining you as far as the daily calls show is concerned, where your own stocks will be addressed by top market experts. So don't miss tuning in at that time. Mr. Ajay Bijli joins in, the Managing Director of PVR Inox is with us.